Last time on VCT Americas. 10 teams arrived in Los Angeles for the ultimate competition. Loud continued their domination and took down every challenger thrown their way. But then, a mysterious figure arrived and broke the timeline with a secret knife attack. Seizing the opportunity, evil geniuses summoned the power of a demon to smite their opponents and claim the ultimate prize. But soon after, tragedy struck and the champions were fractured. The stage is set for another year of battle, as well as the arrival of a mysterious new contender. We're back, baby, and it's the Squeakquel! This 2024 season starts today and the field is wide open. Anything can and will happen. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to VCT Americas. It's day one of our kickoff event. Of course, I'm currently the man yelling at you, Golden Boy. I'm joined by a new face on the desk, but of course not a new face of Valorant Esports. We have Ender joining us here. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I came dressed for business, though, and I didn't get the memo. What's happening?
Well, what can I say? You know, global whatever this
global
is.
Sport speed
global
trials?
Exactly.
A lot of words up there.
Yeah,
I like it.
And I don't know if you guys know this, but we are now joined by an award winner on the analyst test. It's
Yes,
me.
Yeah, thank you. I won Wyatt's Weekly Award, the first one of 2024. I'm so
really
proud
impressive.
of it. Yeah, it's a big deal for me.
That is exactly what we were talking about. All right, guys. Well, look, just like last year, the goal for all of this, for all the teams that are here, it's exactly the same. Make it the champions, win it all. But how we get there is going to be a little bit different this time around. So let's go ahead and take a look at how this kickoff event is going to play out.
It's time to ring in the new year with some exhilarating Valorant action. Watch all your favorite teams show their strength in the 2024 VCT Americas Kickoff. Here's how it'll all go down. First, all teams, including the debut of G2, will be split into 3 groups. On February 16th through 19th and 23rd through 25th, each group will play in a GSL-style bracket, where the 3 group winners will advance directly to the semifinals. Next up, on February 26th, the number 2 seed from each group will then face off in a single round-robin play-in stage, where only 1 team will qualify and join the 3 group winners in the elimination bracket. The first competition of the year nears an end when these final 4 teams battle it out on March 2nd and 3rd. The top 2 teams will represent VCT Americas at Masters Madrid and get to start their year with a bang. The first place winner will also receive 3 championship points towards their VCT season that'll help their chances towards raising the trophy at Champions 24 later this year. Mark your calendars for when the action kicks off on February 16th. Scan the QR code on the screen to purchase your tickets today. To learn more about VCT Kickoff, check out ValorantEsports.com. and follow x.com/ValEsports_NA for more updates.
And there you hear the breakdown. And look, those 3 points that you get, the total could be the difference between you making it and, well, watching champions from home.
Absolutely. I mean, the format is new this year. Those points are now important. So every game, every stage of Americas really matters for this team.
The points are the point.
Oh, base perspective.
That's so true.
Okay.
I should be a corporate sloganer.
Yeah.
I think that's a professional
I'm
job.
pretty sure it's a marketing professional.
Yeah, that's the one.
But a corporate sloganer. I'll take a
I'm the
corporate
slogan
sloganer. But you know what, though? We actually do have some new faces that are going to be joining us this time around. That's right. We got G2 Esports is going to be taking the stage this Sunday versus Crew. So not only do we have new format, we have a new team added to the league. It's pretty dang awesome. But for now, though, let's focus on the task at hand, because we have these 2 slots for Masters Madrid that are going to be up for grabs. And it is, of course, anyone's game. Start of the season, you love that feeling. But here is the bracket and how it plays out right now, Mimi. These games are going to be intense.
Masters Madrid is obviously important for the teams to qualify too. But I think right now what we need to focus on is this is a chance for teams to kind of set the pecking order in Americas. No team has survived the offseason without at least some changes. Even our top squads have been shuffled around like crazy.
Yeah.
So this is an opportunity for any of these squads to establish themselves as a top dog, no matter
Exactly.
how well or poorly they did in America's last year.
And with you coming in with all these roster changes, new patches, and such a condensed format to kick it off, this is the tournament of upsets. You're going to see a lot of things go counter to expectation. This is a chance to come in, hit the ball rolling with a brand new read on the meta. And honestly, I'm just so ready to see these teams and what they think is going to be coming in at the top of their priority.
I'm actually glad you did mention the meta and what we're going to be seeing, because we are going to be playing on patch 8.02, which if you guys are, familiar, which of course, if you're watching, you more than likely are, but we'll go ahead and reiterate it for you guys because we got you covered. So we made some changes, right? You got Gecko buffs coming in, Sky nerfs potentially could alter a lot of compositions. There is a lot that can happen with these changes, Mimi. And it's only just week 1, and there's another one on the horizon potentially.
Yeah, I mean, there is not a lot of time since these changes came out to now kicking things off in Americas and across the world in all our international leagues. So I think, like you mentioned, this is going to be the event about adaptation. See which team has the read on the meta. Because last year was defined by double controller Sky, and now Sky's been nerfed to a point where I think we're going to see so much more variety from that one-set meta.
And you'd see a lot of double controller on these maps too, right? Your Icebox coming back in, the Lotus changes, a lot of big changes coming into this map. But I do think it's very important to talk about the Sky, because as Sky goes away without the rechargeable flashes, if you're still playing Sky, you can't be flashing off the rip, right? So that's that
Which
instant,
is huge.
It's huge, right? Because you're not getting that instant free little information, someone is here. So teams, if they're still playing Sky, they're going to adapt by not throwing those round start flashes. But more than anything, I think we see the rise of Gecko as hitting that Sky jack of all trades.
And why is that? Why is that exactly?
Because the refreshable utility, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, no one really has the same level as him. You throw your Dizzy up in the air, it takes 1 second to pick him up, and then just in another 10 seconds, you have another flash, you have another piece of utility. And he's even better when you can combine him with other flashes and pair that Dizzy up.
It's honestly, it's funny because Gecko, I think on his own, really not that impressive, right? You shoot the flash, pro player's gonna be able to do that. But when you're comboing that in with a lineup flash or left click flash from your KO, a breach, any of these other things, you can't turn away from the KO flash because then Gecko still hits you, and you can't shoot to break the Gecko because then KO still hits you, right? It's just not really fun to deal with.
So you think we're gonna see a lot of double initiators?
Exactly.
Yes.
Double initiator is the wave. Double smokes is out. If teams want to keep playing double smokes, then I think we're going to see the rise of Yoru alongside Gecko as the solo initiator. You can drop your Jet Raze duelist slot, put a Yoru in there, and still get the flash combos of the Yoru Gecko.
And that's going to be interesting to see how that pans out, because we also have a big shift to the map pool coming into this year, which means that a lot of these maps, like Breeze, it has not been played in quite a long time at the pro level. We're now going to have to see these teams not only implement these new maps, but also implement in the new ages and new agents, that is, and a different meta on these maps, which is why that initial read is going to be so important, especially since this kickoff tournament, it's not week by week play. It's a tournament. So you have to get it right out the gate.
And adapt quickly, or you will just simply die. If you're a Yoru enthusiast, perhaps, then you're going to definitely want to be looking at both Breeze and Bind as the 2 highest priority maps for that coming in. I think some of the maps where Sky gets hit the hardest are probably Bind, where I think Gecko KO priority values way up. And then, of course, like she was seeing some play on Split as well, but I could still see her sticking around if you're still playing a Breach alongside that.
Yeah, and I mean, Lotus as well is one that Sky in North America was dominant. Other regions played a lot of the Fade, but here in Americas, it was almost always that Sky. I think that's going to change as well. So even these maps that are sticking around in the pool and haven't had any big changes are still going to see a big shift from last year.
Yeah, I'm just saying, as a Haven fan, I'm personally depressed that we don't have Haven.
I think a lot of people echo that.
But it is okay. Hopefully we'll see it again one day. All goody, all goody. But earlier on, we actually asked our players for their take on Icebox's return to competitive play. So actually go ahead and get their thoughts.
I loved Icebox. Icebox has been like one of my favorite maps. It was like a really good map for us on Amadi, and I remember NRG also liked it, so happy it's back, honestly.
El cambio que noté mucho fue el de la parte de B, que sería que antes B tenía 2 pasillos largos, ahora tal vez el que está en el side está mucho más atrapado a la hora que te ataquen.
There's not that many lanes to actually work. It's a little more simplified, so I'm kind of enjoying the simplified fact of that.
I think it's harder to anchor B on Icebox just because the whole section of mid is blocked off. It's easier for the attacker to force you into the side and trap you with mollies.
Isso pra quem joga de defesa ali, porque não tem tanto espaço pra voltar, né? Só tem uma entrada.
De B main, que ahora un poco más fácil para el atacante tomarlo, ya que sacaran esa parte gigante donde la Jet se solían subir.
That is a big change. A lot of people just kind of stay away from B now. Attackers and defenders. Defenders never really could get it, but attackers would grab that for an easy orb.
Which is kind of crazy, to be honest. It kind of changed the map in terms of like how you would lurk B.
Eu acho que algunas mudanças que tiveram foram significativas, como a janela do meio.
On defense now, you can play more passive and see that lurk option that the enemy wants. Like you can play literally in spawn if you wanted to, and be able to spot the lurk.
E é isso, acho que agora tá um pouco mais difícil de jogar pelo meio ali quando você tá de ataque, tá um pouco mais chato.
E também diria que a parte da B agora está faz muito mais sentido, porque a vezes você tinha que se agachar para passar por alguns lugares e era muito chato, e a vezes você ficava se travando com o companheiro.
Mid is the big difference there. Like me, the one who plays Sova and is always watching mid, I actually like feel the difference there.
The reclears on Icebox are a lot easier now. Being able to punish like 2 blocks and stuff like that is definitely way more prominent with the Icebox changes now than it was before.
I love jumping through the window, so I'll tell you that. the window's too fun.
Debían desde el conector, o sea, de la ventana, debían al B, y ahora ya no hay tantos ángulos con el que el atacante tiene que lidiar.
It's good for like off angles and like defenders trying to control mid a little bit faster.
And I think it's going to be interesting how teams approach like that mid control now.
No, está muito legal, estoy gostando mucho yo de esa nueva Icebox.
I love Icebox. I'm so excited to have this map back.
Icebox is back in the rotation. I would be shocked if we don't see it today, especially with so many teams saying that they enjoyed playing on it in that video there. But for now, let's go ahead and focus on our first squad of the day and get into today's matchup. We're going to dive into NRG versus FURIA. Now, here's the thing. Last year, right, I think everyone was really big on NRG for good reason. They had a good start. Well, I shouldn't say a good start, but they had a start, and then they had a recovery that then led to a really good tail end of the season for them. And then, you know, the rest is history.
Yeah, it was all that kind of catalyst moment halfway through the season when they kind of reinvented the way they were playing, and they went on a run in Americas, ended up making it to the finals, lose out to Loud in Americas, and then go to Champions, and everything's looking great. We have the old NRG back, and they lose to Billy Gaming 0-2 twice.
0-2.
Yeah.
Twice.
The run back. You don't want to see that. But I feel like they had the right approach when it came to the offseason post that, because if you lose at Champions, what you need to win at Champions, hear me out. You stole my joke, Mimi. I said that in rehearsal, and you just took it from me.
It's his first day joke now. Robbed and rolled. But they did quite possibly pick up the best offseason move they could.
That was amazing.
By grabbing Demon 1 and Ethan.
Oh, Demon 1 and Ethan.
What did they do? Here's your moment.
Well, they picked them up physically.
No. What did Ethan and Demon 1 do?
They won Champions.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And that's what you do, because when you need to win Champions, Ender, what do?
You pick up Champions.
That's the line.
I love it. But honestly, you're picking up like the hottest player in last year, right? Demon 1, absolute fire to see him.
And I would say probably one of the hottest players coming out of Champions, because even though everyone was talking about Demon 1, Ethan's stocks were high because he was making so many plays, it was absurd.
He looks like just the best KO player, period. And now in a world where Sky's falling out of prevalence, it seems like he is in a position to thrive. And on top of that, they're picking up their old friend Marv, right? Back when this NRG roster was optic and they were going and doing amazing things in the pre-partnership era, this was the guy right there alongside him.
Yeah, big part of it.
They had a tough year with Sentinels for Marv, but now he's back with his old teammates to prove himself again.
Yeah. I feel like on this patch, they kind of have the team that can do almost anything, right? They have the ability to play multiple smokes, right? They have 2 duelist players if they want to do that, with Victor rocking on in there. If they want to switch a Demon 1 over to Chamber, he's been grinding it. He can be the opera for the team too. I think this is a team that can adapt very well patch to patch. That's a huge strength to have.
Yeah, it is a scary team for sure, and I think a lot of people are really looking forward to seeing what these guys can do. And let's continue to put a spotlight on them, right? First and foremost, I mean, Demon 1, this guy, is just lit the league on fire, right? Changed the course of history, some might say. And if anything, he just continues to prove that it wasn't a fluke. This was pure talent, pure skill that led that team to that championship.
He crushed it in Americas in his rookie year when no one expected him to do well. And then he went to the biggest event of the year, and he was the best player of the event. No one has done that
before. He got up on the table.
Yeah, I mean, not just in Valorant. In any esport, can you think of a time someone in their rookie year went and won the biggest event? It's unheard of. This guy is just so
I think the
talented.
only time I could think of maybe was a BZ Call of Duty. Outside of that, that was it.
Is that guy as unapologetic as Demon One, just coming in, talking the talk, walking the walk?
Ain't no one matches Demon One. Let's just be front. Let's just be honest
Whoever
here.
that guy is, didn't stand on any tables.
No. Yeah, well, I think it was simping and BZ, but it doesn't matter. But the point is you're not wrong. Like, there is a case to be made for this guy doing something that was really unheard of just across esports in general, which is impressive.
And I think if you look at it, you can almost take, okay, Demon One coming into this EG roster, sort of like picking them back up in the middle of the year. Yeah. And then with Potter, right? Who better to sort of guide you through your first year? Demon One goes from joining the league out of nowhere, instantly at the top. Now moving over to NRG, get to see him on the other side of things. Potter's not there, new team around him. This is where you solidify that legacy in the league.
If you start with Potter, I then couldn't think of a better team for a still young player to come into than what is one of the most experienced cores in Valorant, this NRG teams. Crashy, Victor, and Chet have been together for ages, and it was always finesse in that mix, but now they also have a new IGL in Ethan. But the thing is, Demon One was just playing with Ethan back at EG. He was already mid-rounding, helping out in the calling, and I think some people have doubted, is he really an IGL? But he's like mid-rounded for every team he's played at and helped out in that regard. And it's clear that his coach has so much faith in this guy.
Exactly, right? You have the faith, and also you've got to have faith when you have the experience of those players playing together already. You already have some of those foundational building blocks that you're working upon. Ethan's going to know where Demon One's going to want to take that up and take it in the game. And Ethan also no strangers to making the big plays himself.
Yeah, it's massive. And I think also, too, it goes without saying as well that for Ethan, this is a great opportunity for him to really be able to continue to give himself that spotlight, because I love this player and what he was able to do all throughout Champions, but he's a quiet dude. He always kind of fades away into the shadows, which I know is something he kind of prefers. But now you're stepping into that limelight. A lot of pressure here to be leading NRG after one of the best IGLs who was just leading this team, and now you're filling those shoes.
But I don't think he could be in a better position. I honestly don't feel like he is feeling that pressure, because guess who's around him? Crashies and Victor.
If they're doing their job right, he shouldn't feel that pressure.
Whenever Finesse talked about why he was such a good IGL, why he achieved so much with this core, he always talked about those two guys helping him out, pitching in ideas in the mid-round, and I expect them to do the same thing for Ethan. This is a system with those two and with Chet that is already so established that I think for a player like him, who has done so much in his career already, he's just going to be able to slide into that position and thrive.
Question for the class. And
are you asking them or us?
For those of you at home as well, why don't you go ahead and let's talk about expectations. Where do you think that this team's going to land? Do you think they're going to be top 3? They're going to be top 5? Maybe top 1?
Are we talking kickoff? Are we talking end of the year?
Let's start with kickoff. Keep it simple.
Okay.
Kickoff? I know, so I've been debating this for a few times, because I get nervous when I see super teams. I do not buy in.
Hasn't gone well.
But genuinely, the more I think about the roles that the players on this team can play, the history they have with one another, I think they will be one of the best teams at the start of the year. No, and I genuinely believe that whether it's Sky is Dead patch this week or it's Chamber is back in the future, like, this team has the flexibility to hit the ground running.
The thing is, though, they have to win, right? You come out with one of the winningest cores in Valorant, and you add in 2 world champions. If you are not coming out of the gate and thriving, instantly, so much doubt is going to be shown on this team. But I'm not worried, honestly. We saw things not go too great with Sentinels last year when they tried to build that super team. But I feel like this team has that core that has been together. They have players that have already talked in interviews about how good the chemistry is being built up. I really expect them to come out and at least hit that top 2 mark and go to Madrid.
That's fair. I mean, hey, all signs point to positives, right? Yes. But there's an opportunity here for their opponents to play spoiler, because we're going to transition over to FURIA and talk about what this team is doing as they have made
changes as well. Very similar situation, NRG, funny enough, where they swapped out 3 players and they added 3 of their own. This time around, though, we see some more movement. We got MW Zera back in familiar roles, and, well, we just hope that we see this FURIA team live up to the potential that I'm sure their fans want them to.
And that's the thing, right? You have to latch on to MW Zera as the focal point in this team, as he always has been in the duelist role on his teams. He is out there dropping bombs on the opponents. That's our favorite little lingo back here. But no, honestly, he is the guy to carry away. And I think that if we are in a world, especially in a double flashes world or double initiator world, to support this player, that's a guy you can build a team around.
But
when
this team has played on the offseason and when he's played for teams before and it's been that duel, it's been the star, there seems to be a history of him going out and dropping bombs, as you said, and the rest of his team floundering behind it. Like, he's a player that requires so many resources, so much to be put into having him succeed, and he always does. But we've always seen him play to that level, and we've never seen him actually on a team that can support around him and give more success than just being a strong individual. And that's all I'm looking for at FURIA this year. MW Zera is the known quantity. It's the rest of these players that are being picked up, given this opportunity around him, who need to succeed if FURIA can live up to that hype.
Can a new IGL Conan come in with just 1 game in LCQ last year and be that sort of leader for the team to support a guy like this? That's going to be the challenge for Kickoff and however long they can keep it going.
Especially against when you got 2 world champions on the other side, one of the most consistent cores in all of Valorant. It is a tall order without a doubt. But earlier on, we had Sideshow catch up with one of the players from FURIA. It's one of the new additions. It's Havoc.
Havoc, thanks for joining me. You're one of the rookies that I've got my eye on for this year. How are you looking forward to acclimatizing to life in LA?
Você é dos novatos que ele tá de olho, né? Como é que tá sendo para você se adaptar a Los Angeles?
Posso falar em português?
Pode.
Tipo, em Los Angeles está sendo muito fácil. Os moleques já tiveram experiência antes de Los Angeles aqui, então eles me passaram muito o que é feito aqui, como que é a cultura e como que é diferente, então é tudo tranquilo para mim.
Yeah, it's been easy. The rest of the team have been here before, so they're talking about culture and everything else, so it's been very easy for me.
Obviously, a big shift for Havoc, having to come here, from Brazil, make his way over to the United States to play. And it's going to be, a bit of a challenge, I think it goes without saying, especially with their first opponent. But sell me on Havoc. I want to know why this guy was such a talked about asset in last year.
You think of Brazilian superstars, who comes to mind?
Well, think of Aspas immediately.
Okay. What if I were to tell you that this is the guy who is maybe slated to replace him last year on Loud? The streets were talking.
The streets.
And that was something that could have ended up happening. Havoc last year, he was playing for the Union, the team that, went on to Ascension, ended up just losing out there and missing the spot in Americas. He didn't play with them at Ascension because he stepped away from the team, and there was rumors that he was scrimming with Loud, that he was having opportunities and being looked at by the biggest names in Brazil. This guy has been grinding in Tier 2 in Brazil for quite a while, and he has far and away been smoking everyone else in that scene. It's just been a matter of time, I feel, before a team like FURIA has taken that risk and brought him to LA.
I'm going to throw a lifeline out there for all the people that maybe don't watch the Tier 2 scene in Americas. If you're an EMEA watcher, you would think of a name like Kiko coming in hot through that scene, right? Picking up a lot of talk.
Both of you to assume that more people know Kiko than...
Hey, I'm just saying, it's early in the day. We might have some people tuning in. I was just going to say, the talk is very similar around those 2 players.
Okay. But it didn't happen, so the streets lied.
The streets lied. But now he's on FURIA, which is the second best.
I'll never trust the streets again.
How can we trust? And I'm from the streets. That's crazy. So, guys, this year, it's all about change, right? Even though this isn't really changing much. We have new rosters, and we have a new sniper that will set you back 2,400 credits. And you guys sent us a few awesome clips with it. Here's what you've been doing with the Outlaw.
Last player standing.
What the?
Spike down. One enemy remaining.
No way. Oh, one left.
You're better.
All right, so Mimi and I decided it'd be a great idea to 1v1 each other with the Outlaw. And I'm just going to be fully transparent. I do not, the sensitivity's out, but you know what, you guys, this is how we thrive.
I'm sure.
This is how we thrive.
How do you feel about this gun thus far, Chrissy? It's pretty expensive.
It's very expensive, and also, I just need to say that this 1v1 I find a little bit silly because the Outlaw is basically the counter to the light armor meta that, you know, Fnatic took the world by storm by, but NRG did first way back in the day.
Okay.
Anyways, shout out. But you can't one-shot someone with heavy armor unless it's a headshot.
But I'm just going to headshot GB.
Yeah, but in that case, buy a Marshall.
Okay, why?
Where
are you?
And if they're buying light armor or no armor, then again, buy a Marshall.
Are you in Breeze Halls?
I'm in Breeze Halls, yeah, that's what we agreed, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm in Breeze Halls.
Are you in Halls?
Well, I was in Halls, and I left because I noticed you weren't there.
Well, you were trying to open the door.
Swine.
Why are you behind me?
Wait, also, are the halls not there?
Am I hearing voices in my head? TV, where are you?
What is happening?
Speak me.
Wait, I thought we added halls back. Why aren't halls here?
Okay, so we're trying to talk about this gun, which I've just whiffed with. Peek me. Oh my
this
God.
might go on for a while. Anyway,
this is
gun
gonna be
cost
forever. We have unlimited ammo.
All right, we're not going to play. This is too embarrassing.
No, kill me.
We're going to go to the power rankings now with Brennan Sideshow.
There we go.
Woo!
Should have had a controller. Unbelievable. My God.
Every year in the Valorant community, it is tradition to try to predict the future and have some kind of power rankings. They never work. They're always terrible. But why would that ever stop us from doing something like this?
Yeah, they've always been bad every year.
Yeah. So these are the rankings from the regular season of last year. Obviously, like playoff performance champions, that was all different. We need to add G2 in there as well.
Yeah.
Already things are going to get weird. So where shall I begin?
I mean, you want to just get started? Just put what team you think is at number one.
All right. Well, I mean, there's a super team here that's been formed to try to get the number one spot. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to put NRG
at number one. Okay, well,
there.
Josh, but have you considered the Scrimbox? Oh, the community's been doing some research, and I really think we've got to listen to them this time around. Listen,
Okay.
100 Thieves were beating NRG on the 11th, 10-1 in a scrim.
Oh, but
so you've got to put 100 Thieves above them.
But you don't know what the end result of the scrim was.
No, and I don't know what the map was either.
Right. Well, we'll put NRG maybe down here then. We'll put 100 Thieves above them.
But okay, but what about Cloud9? They beat a mixed team. It's not an official team, but they're 4-1. They weren't. I don't know if they beat them, but they were winning the scrim. So where do you want to put them there?
I mean, based on Scrimbucks, maybe we'll put them down here for now then.
Okay, but this is also confusing me. NRG won 9-1 versus M80.
Oh, well, okay, M80 were pretty close with G2, right? When they played down there at the Ascension
level. You're going to put G2 below them?
So we're going to put G2, yeah, somewhere around here. So if we put G2 here, that explains that
have you considered that
result.
on the 12th that G2 were beating 100 Thieves in the scrim?
Well, now we're going circles.
But you've got to put them higher because they were beating them 10-7.
Oh, well, okay. Well, then we'll put 100 Thieves back down there.
Okay.
Okay. Well, what about Loud? Okay. I still feel pretty confident about this Loud team. They were top of Americas last year. I'm tempted to put them up there.
They haven't been scrimming. Where are the scrim results?
I know that they've been scrimming since October.
They haven't been scrimming.
Okay, you haven't found them, but that doesn't mean that they haven't been scrimming.
They haven't been scrimming.
All right, well, talk to me about Leviathan. They've also constructed a super team, kind of, for this year. They've got to be somewhere high up towards the top.
They beat a Challengers team 8-1. They're beating in the Challengers team in a scrim. That was on the 14th.
Right. What does that tell me?
I don't know.
Okay, that doesn't tell me anything.
No, just get more stickers,
Okay,
please.
Furia, EG.
Furia, EG, where's EG? They're 6-2 against an unknown team.
Well, if they're unknown,
it could have been Bleed. It could have been Yay on the opposite side.
But it could have been us on the opposite side as well, Brent.
Okay, 6-2.
What about Furia?
Furia, nothing.
Okay, well, I'm going to put them down there for now then, I guess, and we'll figure them out afterwards.
We've got a time of 1 minute left.
What about Sentinels? We've only got a minute left,
Sentinels,
Brent.
okay, well, Sentinels 12-8 versus an unknown team again.
But what kind of unknown team,
I don't know. I don't really know.
I can't do anything with these kind of scrim results.
Well, 100 Thieves beat G2 14-4.
Oh, I mean,
but that's going to flip it around again.
What am I doing? 14-4? Well, we'll put G2 down there.
G2 down there. Okay.
And then Sentinels. I'll put Sentinels at the top for now, just a placeholder.
Sentinels, you're losing the stickers, Josh.
Sentinels. Yeah, I know. They're going flying.
I'm looking. I'm trying to find something.
MIBR and Crew. Okay, Crew haven't made a huge amount of changes since last year. Oh, we've lost G2.
We've lost G2. Put them back up.
Okay.
G2. G2 beat Lev.
G2 beat Leviathan.
G2 beat Lev.
Dude, okay, let me just get these on the board for starters. And then, right, you hold these here.
Okay.
You hold them there. And what did you say? G2 beat Leviathan in a scrim?
G2 beat Lev in a scrim.
All right, so what if I do this then?
But G2 also lost to Oxygen.
And well, Oxygen should be at the top then.
Yeah, Oxygen really should be. Do we have an Oxygen sticker?
They're winning kickoff.
We got how much? 3 seconds? Okay. We're done, I think.
Man, wild to think we gave them 2.5 weeks for that. But folks, the party starts right now. Let's kick off VCT America's 2024 kickoff.
Hi guys, welcome to day one. So to decide who's team A and team B, I'll flip this coin. If it's on the VCT logo, then FURIA will be A, NRG will be B. If it's on the VCT America side, then FURIA will be B and NRG will be A. Alright, so FURIA will be A and NRG will be B. So you will have the first map ban. What would you like to ban?
Sunset.
Okay, you said sunset?
We'll ban bind.
Okay. FURIA ban sunset, NRG ban bind. And you have first map pick.
Breeze.
Breeze? FURIA pick breeze. And would you like attack or defense?
We'll take defense.
Alright, NRG will be defense. And then you will pick map 2?
We'll pick Ascent.
Alright. NRG pick Ascent.
Defense.
FURIA pick defense. So now you have one map ban.
Lotus.
FURIA ban Lotus. And you have the last map ban.
Ban Icebox.
NRG ban Icebox. So the default map will be split. And then you have side pick. Would you like attack or defense? Attack. FURIA pick attack. All right, so just to run back through it real fast. FURIA ban Sunset, NRG ban Bind, FURIA pick Breeze, NRG pick Defense, NRG picked Ascent, FURIA pick Defense, FURIA pick Lotus, or sorry, FURIA ban Lotus, NRG banned Icebox, and then default map was split, and FURIA picked Attack.
Yeah.
All right, best of luck today.
And second back. Instead, but he's gonna go swinging. Oh my gosh!
When you're 2-0 down and didn't really have a chance, so I can hold up by Around é campeão do VCT Américas! Comienza a avanzar en el larga vida al rey!
Negative defeat of Icebox. He is not in.
Stop really fighting for his season. Position for Flashy. Oh my God! Not by Demon One. Now into 1v1. Individual fight is waiting. Victor swings across. Swing. You're able to get this. Shorter seconds. He's got to go. Oh my God! For James. Position to the close strike. Just enough time.
Is this another tense moment? The swing is there, and the shot is 2 from 10. Primeras tormentas. Pecho. Por la segunda.
And we are not done yet. G2.
It's inevitable. EU tries to hang on to it, but no! It's Trent to find the final kill!
The same old story. The winning squad gets dissolved the moment they win and never gets back to what it was.
Hold on. I'm here.
I'm here. Eu tô aqui. I'm here.
Tô aqui.
Eu tô aqui.
I'm
here.
I'm
here.
I'm here.
Eu estou aqui. Acho não, tenho certeza que é o Dream Team do NA agora, né? Eles montaram esse time pensando em ganhar tudo aqui no VCT Américas.
my team now is even better on paper, and the expectations are probably even higher than last year.
Pode acontecer literalmente qualquer coisa, porque eles são um time novo, a gente também é um time novo, então não tem como ter uma, tipo, esperar algum resultado, não tem fixo.
Haven't even seen their roster, don't know who's on the team since last year, don't really care either. Probably gonna win and move on to the next team.
Não é nome que vai ganhar o jogo, é preparação, é o momento ali, quem vai estar mais confiante, quem vai tomar as melhores decisões. Eles sabem disso, a gente também sabe, tudo é resolvido no servidor.
Riot Games Arena, it is finally time to kick off the 2024 season. For our first team, please welcome on stage, Liazi, MW0, Conan, Havoc, Khalil. Give it up for Brazil's FURIA! Now facing FURIA, it is North America's powerhouse team that everyone is looking forward to. Please welcome on stage, Demon One, Marved, Ethan, Crashies, Victor. It is NRG!
Here we go. The start of the Valorant 2024 season begins right now, and what a way to start things off as we have a powerhouse, rightly stated, of North America and NRG. And then on the other side, you have some plucky underdogs who could potentially, well, shock us all if they pull off a win here today, Mimi.
This NRG squad was built for greatness. It's the winningest core of 2022 coming back together with the world champs of last year. They seem destined for a top spot, to go to Madrid, to be the best in Americas, but they're up against the FURIA with new players, with unknown names, having a real potential to break through here, and with the meta shifting, with new maps, this is a huge chance for an upset.
Look, I will call your underdog story, but I will raise you MW Zera on these first two maps we're kicking it off on. Okay. Sure, NRG favorites coming in, but when you're starting on Breeze and then moving to Ascent, those are the op maps. Those are the jet maps. Let's look beyond the big names, the two teams. It's Demon One versus MW
Well, I was gonna challenge that and be like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm excited for MW Zera, but you're dealing with Demon One.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, yes, the stocks are high for MW Zera, always have been. But come on, man, he's a world champion, right? At this point, you gotta put respect on his name.
You absolutely do, but MW has also performed against absolutely anyone put in his way. He is so talented at the top level, and it's just been waiting to find that team that he can actually win with.
You can simplify these maps, right, and look to go hunt out. Halls is opened up. We're going to see jet players flying down that. We may not even see the jet, of course, right? Yoru, a big pick. How do teams adapt to the sky changes, double smokes, all of these ideas? Throughout challengers and a lot of the off-season, a lot of people on Breeze are just playing the same old comps. Your Viper, your KO, your Cypher, etc.
Oh, it seems like we're on that path.
We're seeing a lot of that.
Yeah, Victor locking in the Cypher. There's a lot of questions about what role that guy's going to play. And with him locking in the Cypher, it means we're almost certainly getting that Demon One MW jet head-to-head.
Yeah, I mean, my only question is, has anyone been putting in some time on the Yoru? Because that is the pick that can really turn this map upside down. But ultimately, that is also what I'm expecting. I think especially on defense, it's so important to get out early, build up your economy by winning pistols so you can get an up online round 3, round 4.
Well, something also tells me, too, like, if you're NRG in this position, you fancy yourself going quite deep into this tournament. You don't want to really give up up a lot of stuff right now. So perhaps this is them just playing safe, but could it bite them in the butt, though?
This score has also had a history of starting slow.
That is true.
I think for a super team now this year, they have to come out the gate swinging.
I will say, looking at Sova getting locked in here, I think the changes to Breeze giving hulls back has made Sova much more effective of an agent. A lot of Sova players like to float between nest and hulls. You can sometimes avoid putting a trip down on those hulls, especially on the Cypher. If you can play with double kill trips and you have a great floating Sova, that can open you up to just dominate those defensive holds. The tripwires you can place now on the B side are just impossible to deal with.
And the other guy that's going to be so strong on those holds is Marv. His teammates in interviews during the offseason talked about how he kind of wasn't himself with Sentinels last year, but now he is back with the boys he was the best with, and he has the freedom to be an anchor, to be a lurker on that Viper. And of course, Demon One's on the Jet.
It's Jet v Jet, baby. Doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, that's actually the best way you could possibly start things off here at VCT America as a kickoff the 2024 season. But folks, we got ourselves a full house. Why don't you give yourselves a round of applause for being so dang awesome. We got fans watching all around the world, and you know what we're missing? 2 mustachio gentlemen. That's right, folks. We're sending it over to your casters. It's Brent and Sideshow.
Thank you very much, guys. Let's get this one started, man. Seriously, it's been 174 days. I'm trusting the guy at the front with the sign on that one. I didn't count the days, but it's been a long-ass time. And finally, we're going to get this 2024 season started here in the kickoffs. And all roads really do lead to Madrid here. That's what both these teams here are playing for in this interesting, weird format that we've got, honestly, with the 11 teams. But it is important matches off the rip here.
It definitely is. For FURIA, in this group, their biggest obstacle is this first game against NRG. If they can make an upset happen at the beginning of the year right now, where they are so correct, nothing is certain. Big names don't always win big games. There is some uncertainty in the air about how all of these teams are going to perform. Don't believe the desk when they tell you that this is a powerhouse team that's destined for success. We don't know yet. We just don't know. They've got to go out there and prove it. They've proved it in the past, but how are they going to play together here?
It almost feels like the perfect format for a couple of upsets that maybe happen as well early on. You think about the Sky changes that happened, really just like a bit of a curveball for the teams, to be honest.
Massive curveball.
They've been practicing a lot of these comps and they got shifted only a few weeks ago.
Some of these teams might have been planning to play Sky on Breeze. We saw some teams in the offseason running double initiator, Harbor Viper, and I don't think that we're going to be seeing very much of that. People very much relying now on that KO Sova Cypher composition that we saw so much way back when. We haven't really seen Breeze been played since 2022. It's been a while. Such a long time to see this map. And it lends itself a lot to defensive aggression, to getting your Jet players set up on aggressive angles. Most of the time, it doesn't really make sense to boil games down to the Jet versus Jet. Everyone likes it, they like talking about it, but it normally doesn't really play out like that. Breeze tends to. Actually, it tends to come down to which Jet can cause the most chaos on the defense side and which duelists can really open up space on the attack side too. So considering that we haven't seen Demon One really play Jet on this map at the tier 1 level, because Breeze wasn't here while he was having his rookie year winning champions. So this is going to be new.
Which is just
domains.
insane. Yeah, absolutely insane for a rookie player to go out and just win the entire thing for the opening year of them playing. But that's Demon One for you as well. I mean, a quick update as well. We waited a long time in this offseason. We're going to be waiting a little bit longer. There's a couple of checks, last minute checks, just seeing what the teams are getting ready as well before we get into the match itself. But yeah, the Jet head-to-head, something I'm going to be really interested into. On Breeze specifically, how they being set up as well. Ethan on the KO. Yeah, I mean, he was being bigged up big time by Crashies, I think, as well in a lot of these interviews. So talking about his KO.
Ethan's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. But also because Breeze has been around for quite a long time, a lot of these players are going to have really good supportive utility. I was actually watching some Havoc gameplay during the offseason. He's had to switch his role. He was a duelist player previously, right? The Des was talking about him maybe filling in for Aspas. That was something that Loud were thinking of in this offseason, but he's moved over to a more supportive flex role, and I think that's where he's really shining in the offseason games that I've seen. His supportive flashes for MW to be able to peek off, some of that timing has been immaculate from FURIA, and that was earlier. We haven't seen any of these teams play for like at least a month while they've been honing stuff, ready for the season to begin. And already FURIA looked like they had some dangerous weapons in their arsenal that NRG are going to have to maneuver around.
Okay, well, just to give you an update as well, we're going to have to remake the map real quick, hopefully as fast as possible. Listen, I know.
Build it from the ground up.
Build it from the ground up, apparently. Listen, and we're going to get into the game as soon as humanly possible. That's my hopes and dreams, at least, that we do get into this one. So
we've been waiting long enough. What was it, 173 days?
Listen,
let's make it 174.
Let's come back to 174. You want to do 175?
175.
You're getting jeered by the crowd, Josh. You're getting jeered, man. Yeah, hopefully getting into it soon enough. I mean, Lord knows it's been long enough here. It's a nice rest, though.
It has, but I think all of these players will be itching to play.
Yeah.
Especially for the people who've got a new challenge on the table. Both of these teams. Right?
And also, I mean, individuals looking for like a bit of a chip on their shoulders, something to prove. Marv as well. I know this guy's hungry for it. He feels like that last year, that stint that he had on Sentinels was not a good showcase. Not at least compared to his peaks that he's had prior, playing with this old core that he's now reunited with.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. I think Marv didn't really show his peak while he was playing for Sentinels, but he did have a lot of learning moments. He's talked about it. His teammates have talked about it too, that he's more confident with his communication now. He's more confident in terms of bringing ideas to the team. To be honest, that can be a bit of a double-edged sword, because one of our biggest focuses during this match is going to be to take a look at how NRG functions as a squad. The calls that they're making. Are they able to perform when daddy's not home? When daddy isn't able to call, is Ethan going to be able to step up and do the job?
Okay.
It's quite difficult to think about Finesse being a really world-class caller, like one of the most successful we've ever had in the game, and also have the opinion that NRG are going to be fine without him. It's quite difficult to believe both of those things at the same time.
Yeah.
But that's the faith that people have in the experience of people like Ethan and the rest of NRG, that they're going to be able to adapt and overcome that challenge.
That's the hopes as well. Well, listen, no secrets here. You can see the updates occurring on the screens. They're remaking the game itself as well. In the meantime, the Outlaw is actually available for competitive play, but are the pros going to use it? Here's what Tens, Aspas, and others think about Valorant's new sniper.
There's a new gun in Valorant. It's called the Outlaw. It is 2,400 credits. It shoots 2 bullets and then it reloads. If you shoot 1 bullet and reload, it reloads faster. It has the same scope as a Marshall, and if you hit a headshot, you'll kill them.
This gun's unique from a Marshall and Operator just because the Marshall one-shots people with no armor, and the Outlaw one-shots people with half armor.
O que ela tem de único comparado com as outras snipers é o fato que você dá um tiro e você já pode dar outro tiro sem ter que tirar o scope. Basicamente, você dá 2 tiros no mesmo tempo.
It definitely feels more of like a kind of like a sentry sniper. It's the fact that it only shoots 2 bullets, and once the 2 bullets are shot, it takes a really long time to reload. So right away, if you can hear for the 2 bullets, it is really hard for them to like repeat.
Para mim, o diferencial da Outlaw é que quando você tá com ela, o seu inimigo ele não pode usar a economia dele de qualquer jeito. Ele tem que equilibrar a economia dele para conseguir fazer o shield pesado, porque todo mundo já sabe que ela mata com um tiro com shield leve, então você tem que balancear a sua economia, você tem que controlar a sua economia mais...
Sí, yo creo que la economía es lo que más afecta, porque no podéis comprar el chaleco chico.
I think the main scenario that the Outlaws used on maps like Ascent, Icebox, Breeze, like kind of the jet maps, those maps also super long range, so the gun is obviously going to have value. I don't think it really impacts much of the other maps because of the gun's like very punishing to use if you don't hit your shot, and Jet's like the agent that can get out.
Eu acho que na Breeze contra um Echo é basicamente quase impossível do time que tá Echo ganhar dela, porque ela te mata com um tiro no peito, de muito longe, ela dá 2 tiros de uma vez, então só pra matar ela, só se ela estivesse recarregando, então seria bem difícil.
Teniendo Aspa, que es una de las mejores operators del mundo, el mejor Marshall del mundo, y ahora la otra también para mí el mejor del mundo, entonces algo que agradezco que esté a nuestro favor y no en mi contra.
I've been using it, and it's just watching people drop, with a 1 shot to the body. It's definitely fun. Yeah, you're definitely going to see it in VCT this season.
Wow, welcome back, everybody. Okay, quick update time, all right, for everybody. 4 to 5 minutes. That's the time that I've been given to ETA.
45?
No, 4 to 5.
Oh, 4 to 5.
Don't have a heart attack, mate. Okay,
All right.
chill.
You scared
all right?
me.
I'm
You
sorry.
scared me.
4 to 5 minutes. Listen, it's been like a 6-month-long off season. What's 5 more minutes? Hopefully,
Exactly.
I'm absolutely telling myself that. But we will be getting into it at some point.
Yeah.
And the teams, I mean, they are chilling. aren't
They're
they? Big chilling.
vibing. They
Yeah.
are vibing. It's interesting to see the different players' approaches to like how much pressure they think is on them in a match like this and this kind of thing. The FURIA players, I think, just enjoying being up there on the stage for the first time.
Oh,
And
yeah.
to be honest, most of the NRG players as well are just so relaxed in matches like this because they've just been mega experienced. Or like Demon One, who's only played 1 year at the
don't
tier
get
1
it,
level.
man.
They actually, dude, Demon One, he's not a real human.
He's really not. He's
Nothing
actually
phases
not.
him.
Interviews, he's just unfazed, unbothered.
He said he didn't know who was on FURIA.
Yeah, he said he didn't know it was on Fury. He said he hasn't touched the game in an interview previously for 4 to 5 months after winning the championship, by the way. Just jump back into scrims.
He won't be any worse as well.
No, he actually won't be.
I highly doubt.
He's a different breed, honestly. And yeah, you don't really see too many players like Demon 1
He
too
needs to be
often.
studied.
He does, yeah. Clone him in a lab or something. Let's get 5 Demon 1s on the team.
5 Demon Ones. Yeah. I don't know whether that would function particularly well, but it would kill everybody on the other side. So, yeah, you got that.
Yeah. Well, we want to hear what you think about today's first match as well. Go and chat and spam who you are pulling for. Type in NRG or FURIA, or FUR, I suppose.
Okay, NRG or FUR.
Yeah, FUR.
And
yeah.
what? We've got the ability to...
Apparently, we've
run
got the
a poll.
ability to track this.
Wait,
yeah.
new
If you-
technology?
if you spam the chat this time with
Okay.
those things of what team you think is going to win,
Okay.
and it's going to show up a little poll, I've been told.
That's
Magical
sick.
technology.
Okay, we've
potentially.
got the new,
I don't know how
new
this
tech.
works, Josh. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't seen this.
Well,
tested.
I actually do. There's a guy in the back who goes through and just has to tally up every single
that
person
poor
that's typing
soul.
in the chat. Yeah.
That poor soul. Is that Kurt we got on that? Or?
yeah. Yeah. I'm personally paying him, and to be honest with you, Brent, it's not much.
Not much.
It's not
No.
much.
Going rates.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
That is absurd. Okay.
Okay, I can guarantee you there is a higher chance that FURIA win this than 5%.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, 95%.
And I think this kind of plays into what I was talking about earlier, that even though NRG are a super team, all right, I agree with that, and they have an insane roster, unbelievable roster, you've also got to take into account, this is the beginning of the year. You've never seen this roster play before. You don't know how great the IGLing style is going to be, and it's possible that it might take them a little while to figure stuff out. We've seen other amazing teams, PaperX from last year, EG from last year, NRG from last year, all took a little bit of time to warm up. So people are super high on this squad, but I seriously think there is a chance for FURIA to come out and play really well today and surprise 95% of people watching.
I agree. I mean, all the changes as well that we've already been mentioning, you got to think these teams have been cracking on different patches. We have the Sky changes coming in as well. That changes a lot of comps, to be honest. I mean, Sky was just the standard. It was the jack of all trades initiator. You can't be really, relying on her too much anymore, not in the comps if you do want to run her. And that has changed teams' practice a little bit as well. It wipes the slate clean almost as well as you head into the kickoff tournament, where, listen, at the beginning you have a bit of a safety buffer. You have, of course, your lower brackets for the first stage of it, first portion. But funnily enough, the deeper you go in, the less chances you get as well. If you actually make the playoffs, it's only a couple of games that really stand between you and potentially making it to Madrid. And for some teams, it's literally 2 games.
Yeah, for EG specifically.
Yeah, exactly. For EG in particular.
Yeah, but I think it would be huge if FURIA were able to get an upset win today, because not only would that cement them as a serious squad that people have to start taking notice of, and I think, to be honest, they should already be in that kind of conversation as a bit of a dark horse because of the talent that's on the team. Havoc's a big hitter. We saw Khalil light the world on fire in week 1 and 2 last year, and MW's always MW. He's always putting up big numbers. So they're a dark horse squad, but at the same time, if they can beat NRG today, not only does it put them on the map, but it also means that their next match coming up should, in theory, be a little easier. Yeah. It's the winner of C9 MIBR. And that, if they were able to win, would put them through to the playoffs of Kickoff. So, there is a lot on the line here, specifically, I think, for the FURIA squad.
Well, in the meantime, let's hear from Crashies and his thoughts on moving Ethan into that IGL role as well. Check this out.
So the transition from FNS to Ethan has been really easy, I would say. We knew each other outside of Valorant, and he's known Chet and all of us for years. So like I said, the transition was pretty easy. And then him being IGL, I feel like it's kind of on us to help him succeed, just because we learned so much from FNS. So we can't put everything on him. It's kind of on us to help him succeed in that role, because he's never really taken the head role of IGL before. On EG, he was just kind of mid-rounding really well, and yeah, he's never really had the sole status of being an IGL. So I think we're definitely going to try and support him to be successful, and hopefully, you know, it works out.
Right, well, I said, 4 to 5 minutes.
Yeah. Did you like to
Have you been counting?
Yeah.
You set a timer?
It's been about 5 minutes, actually.
Has it been about 5 minutes?
Yeah, we ready to go?
Give me 1 minute more.
1 minute more?
Are you going to break my kneecaps if I say 1 minute more?
I might do.
Don't. I mean, listen, come on. I want to see the game too. But yeah, they are remaking the map. You can see the players. They're jumping around in the practice range. We're getting everything situated. We need a few more minutes. Give me a few more minutes, please. Give me a bit of time.
Well, I
can get the money together. Just give me the time.
I want to talk a bit about what Crashies was saying about Ethan becoming the IGL there. They've got a lot of players on this team that have done a lot of mid-rounding in the past. And one of the reasons why I think it might work for NRG is that Chet is a heavy strat caller. He builds out a playbook, sorry, not a plat book. That's what people in rank play with. But he builds out a playbook, and then he can pull strats from that while the game is happening live, and then he can allow the really competent mid-rounders on the team, like Ethan, Crashies, and Marv, to make calls based on the information that they then see off the back of that. So I think Chet's the perfect coach to try to implement a system like this. And the teams just got stacked with talent that have that mid-rounding experience. So yeah, they don't have that player with huge history as an IGL. But I think if there was any team to make it work that wasn't Paper Rex, it might actually be this NRG squad. We will simply have to wait and see. And today will be their first test.
Yeah.
When we get started.
When we get started, of course. Yeah. I mean, hopefully sometime soon. How many times have I said that?
Yeah. I mean, you're wearing on me now, man. You're wearing on me.
I'm just
wearing my
eager.
patience.
I'm eager.
No, I'm eager as well. What a match to set stuff off, though, because I think this is going to be explosive. It's the first test of a big super team, and one of the teams that everybody's tuning in to see whether they can compete with the best in the world. And at the same time, it's an interregional matchup within Americas too. You got a North American super team playing against one of the top teams from that kind of South American, Brazilian region that has been putting out extraordinary talent. Just most of it has ended up on Loud.
Yeah.
So this is like the other collection of players that have been performing really well. MW has performed at the top level many times before. Havoc's been performing really well at the tier 2 level last year. Like I said, Khalil's been good. Conan was on the bench but has learned a lot and been trying to apply that over the offseason with his IGL in. So yeah, this should be an extremely fun way of starting the season.
Yeah, really should be. Okay, well, a short break is needed. Don't shoot a messenger.
No.
Okay, on the other side of things, I hope, crossing my fingers, we'll have the game ready.
And I'll come back and do a solo cast.
Exactly. And then you'll know exactly what's happened to me. And please, somebody find out. All right? Find out for my sake.
Gotta get you.
Welcome back, lovelies, to VCT America. So sorry that you're hearing my voice. I called everyone lovelies. They're all, look at them, they're so lovely.
Are you a 1950s diner waitress?
Golden Boy, that's a camera.
No, that's people there. Can't you see?
No.
That's us on the TV behind the camera.
He thinks the Killjoy turd's alive.
Hey, Johnny Five. Anyway, that's a reference. So, unfortunately, we had a little bit of a delay, as you guys can already tell. That goes without saying. So hopefully we'll be able to get this resolved relatively soon. For now, though, stick around with us until we're ready to send you over, because Bren just mysteriously disappeared. Crazy.
Something
Anyway,
about
so...
his knees. I don't know.
Something about his knees, right? Yeah. He was like being dragged out. Kind of confusing. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about, though, our first map, what we're going to be seeing here. We get Breeze and changes with this map. We got ourselves a new weapon. Compositions aren't that different, but Chrissy, to start with you and really just dive in, I guess, into like what we should be expecting, what viewers at home should be expecting with the changes to Breeze.
Well, first of all, we expect to see a lot of the same comp. We saw mirror comp at the start, and that is gripe number one.
Wait, is this Ender's gripe list or something like that? Is this gaming grievances?
It is, because, look, I don't have that many problems.
Pulls out CVS.
Personally.
I only have 23 problems, okay?
But Halls is one.
Okay, Halls is one.
One second.
Problems in Halls is all of them.
Why are there halls? Like, things could come around the corner at the end of a hall.
Well, how else are you going to get between spaces?
The open road.
The open road, maybe.
Point A to point B.
I love my truck.
Make your way through. But do you feel like, granted, with the compositions being being similar, being literally the same, do we feel like, though, that the skill expression kind of comes into, like, you know, whether or not they want to incorporate some of these new things, like the Outlaw, into their gameplay? Or I think I heard Brendan Sideshow talking about, like, maybe it's more of like a countering type of thing rather than, like, you actually, like, wanting to run the Outlaw.
The Outlaw, that is?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Outlaw it's not game-breaking. It's not something you're going to see every round or even many rounds. I feel like it fits a very specific, like, economic situation where you have enough money to buy it and your opponent doesn't have enough for full armor. Say they like forced up and they have to buy into this round, like it's last the half, so you're going to get a one-shot guaranteed. Or they're on an eco, you're not. Things like that. It has a lot of little niches it can fit into. Because also, if you're a good player, you can make it work even against armor. But I really don't expect to ever see players just buying it in rifle versus rifle rounds when you could just get a
I call a wager.
Wager, yes.
Chances are Demon 1 picks the Outlaw.
He'll have an Outlaw.
He'll have one.
On this map.
Okay.
Yeah, because
no more than twice.
Ultimately,
no more than twice.
Yeah.
Okay. It depends how many ecos
I take those out.
what's happening. Because ultimately, this is how the Outlaw purchasing works. Some teams will just buy it on round 2, because, like, hey, if you buy Outlaw in round 2 and enemy team bought Sheriffs, they're cooked on round 3 because they can only get a Vandal and half armor, right? So then your Outlaw gives you a big chance to win in round 3. Outside of that, you're going to see teams do that against Fnatic, although ultimately Fnatic will just not be able to buy 5 light armors anymore, because then other team is getting a 2,400 credit operator. So that's kind of out, and you have to, like, mix and match your economy a little bit more.
So that strategy definitely takes a little bit of a backseat, potentially.
But only if you're, like, being counter-stratted actively.
Yep. Only if you're doing the
know you're doing it and realize, hey, these guys are running half armor, then you can kind of do it preventatively. But I don't expect teams to, without knowledge of who they're playing against and that they are a half armor team, are going to do it. And for that reason, I think we won't see teams that are exclusive half armor teams.
Yeah, I heard that Mini stopped being the head coach of Fnatic because he couldn't tell his players to buy half armor every round.
That was actually all he did.
That was all he did, famously. It's like, buy half armor, buy the Mini armor.
That's awesome.
Hi, Minnie. We miss you, by the way, buddy. So then I guess with that then, since it's not really going to create that much of a difference here, I guess looking at this map, you know, kind of in a broader picture then, maybe this is an opportunity, though, for FURIA to take something like this to the cost, or to the task, rather, of NRG, right?
Ultimately, Breeze is the jet map. It's the op map. Like, it's one of those maps where...
If there's a map to upset just by MW having a game, it's Breeze.
It's going to happen. And to wrap up the Outlaw for just a second...
Yeah,
there you go. I said it word for word.
Heard it here first.
No, to wrap it up, I do think the interesting choice that you make with the Outlaw is, okay, your team has money, enemy team at max has a half buy here, or they're forcing light armor Vandal. do I go Outlaw to, you know, destroy this round? But the next round, am I dropping that? If we die, maybe I can turn it into a rifle. Or do I buy the Operator, which is more investment up front, but then you are saving that over into the future round. So I'm personally of the camp that enemy team has a half buy, you take the Outlaw. Chances are you aren't going to flawless, and then you just trade that out for a gun.
Sure.
Yeah, interesting that, you know, now it's like you're going to have these financial decisions that could, you know, maybe have ramifications like throughout the game, right? I mean, you buy the Outlaw, you whiff, you screw up, and then you're screwed. You know?
It's just like real life.
No, like, I mean, I have to wonder, like, what am I buying now? We've got taxes come. I'm just like, man, it's too much.
It's too much. The numbers are too much. Guys, we're going to be starting the game in a little bit here. As soon as we're ready to go, we're going to be jumping into the action. We do have our maps laid out. It's Breeze, and then NRG went with Ascent, which I was saying before, they ain't showing nothing. I don't think these guys want to give any information to anyone now.
I will say, Chrissy, you're a fan of non-standard comps on Ascent.
Look, Teddy Tactics, we like to play some crazy stuff.
Hat.
You want me to put on
put on the Teddy Tactics coach?
Okay. Here's what we're rocking with, and this is not leaking because we played it already. But we are doing okay. How much do I say? I have to be a little bit like political in my answer.
You have to be political.
This is kind of fun. Okay. Here's the comp: Breach, Raze, Cypher.
2 more, quick.
Astra. Guess the last one.
Quick. I can't, because I gotta
we
throw
don't
it.
have time.
I gotta throw it to Brandon Sideshow.
My default comp.
Just got the call. Just got the call. All right, well, I did get the call. That good news is the game is starting. That's right, people. So let's go ahead and send it back over to Brendan Sideshow, and hopefully this time they don't break the game.
Or they...
Woo, yippee! We're getting into the game. Let's go. I've been chewing on the desk, man. Let's get it started. Finally, FURIA versus NRG, our newest super team on the block versus some up-and-comers as well. The Brazilian team with a lot to prove, and they could take a bit of a heavy scalp, honestly, if they manage to best and beat NRG here in our kickoff bracket early on.
Yeah, this would be massive. Victor was talking in an interview, and he said, unless they make it to Madrid and make it deep at Madrid, and then make every event this year, and make top 4 at every event this year, it's been a bad year for NRG. So, talk about putting a bit of pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
NRG have come into this with massive expectations. Let's have a look at the pistol round. It looks like NRG want to get some aggression going in mid. Early on, FURIA over towards elbow. Dodging out this early flash recon kind of combo. But NRG are going to get a lot of info in mid that they are not there.
Nobody was ready to receive it. Here's the reaction, though. Wall goes up now straight into the B side. The knife connect. No, it didn't. There's still one tripper. Get themselves into the site, but no backside control. Still, the plant is there. 5v5 now. On the retake. Denial there of knife.
Normally, these teams on the retake are going to battle for the window position. Look how many FURIA players are ready to collect Crashies.
And here it is, Crashies. The trip's broken. Gets the one, but instantly returned. It's Conan there, still holding his ground as well. Now Demon 1 activating the dash. He knows there's a player window. Time is running short. They're taking a long bloody time with this one. You got to get a move on, seriously. Kills need to be found. Molly at the feet. Liazzi, still, he's vulnerable himself. Taken out, just a single shot will do it, but still, it's time. The biggest issue. And it just took far too long with it. FURIA. The round just unraveled there for NRG, but they're going to be winning that pistol round and happy for it.
It's the kind of pistol round, though, where both teams just miss each other completely in terms of what the game plan was. There was nobody anchoring the B site because NRG were banking on that being a bit of mid-control for FURIA. That was not the case. So for NRG, yeah, that B retake did look torturously slow. But let's wait until we see a couple of the rifle rounds to see exactly how that kind of stuff goes and whether there's a pattern developing. On the other side of things, though, FURIA buying up 3 bulldogs, rifle. Yahtzee even buying to make sure that MW has enough money for an attack side operator coming up as well. You can see that MW with the rifle still has 2,200. Demon 1 is trying to get aggro here. Even with only full classics, they're just trying to group up and see if they can catch somebody that was containing over towards A.
Yeah, make a play. Maybe if there was one player holding it, but no, everybody's grouped up towards B. Unsteady. Shock just in case it's a trip into the corner. Order util 10 flying as well, making sure to just clear through onto the side, but Victor's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, look at the utility that FURIA are using. This is going to be probably a quite standard B execute. You got flash recon, updraft to get over the initial trip that Victor might be laying down, and then there's a KO molly towards the back of sight as well. But these are all the kind of things that had NRG actually had a couple of players there, they would start to learn about.
Ooh, okay. Look at nice of it against the eco.
And Crashies and Liazzi just
Okay.
Looking the other way. Clean beginning for Furia with a couple of B hits.
Water guns surviving.
Here's something I noticed about Furia in the offseason. They've just got a new coach in, right? Who unfortunately can't be here with them today, but I'm sure is still in communication with them, obviously. But they have started off their Breeze games by hammering one side of the map at the start of the game, and then they open up and start doing different things. So really trying to hardcore do something to condition their opponent at the start of Breeze. It looks to me like they're going for heavy execs at the start of this to try and pull NRG towards the sites.
Here.
Maybe later on they'll start to exploit mid.
Flash to set it up with the recon as well. Demon 1, he's tucked to the corner now. Players in his face, lots of chances, lots of opportunities.
What a flash.
And it is beautiful! 3-4. Clear court in halls.
One enemy remaining.
And the idea in this round, the distraction that's supposed to allow for Khalil Yatsi to do anything. NRG did not need any more help on site than a couple of flashes from Ethan and Demon 1 collecting names.
And Crashes was bigging up Ethan on the KO. A lot of his setups, a lot of his flashes. I mean, Ethan, he's a cerebral player.
Take a look at that flash. That is perfect.
That catches all of them.
Yeah, everybody. And then it's only that one duel towards the end, which Demon 1 manages to collect. But that also frees up the rest of NRG to start looking towards halls. They don't have to run and help Demon 1.
Yeah.
So, first round on the board for this America's Super Team. And Demon 1 looks like he wants to try and contest with a flash into mid.
Did Dart. Breaking it.
Did that catch onto Liaz?
It did, yeah. Nobody broke it.
So now you see Furia, after going for hard execs 3 rounds in a row, now they're starting to explore mid, but here is Demon 1.
Message drone. Just spotting it out. Liazzi off to the side, was hoping to try and get a lurk time with the orb up. Still can do. Really threatening this. That slow beginning into mid. Demon 1 might just be the playmaker once more. It's an off angle. Slightly ajar. They're not expecting it. There's the return. MW.
Good trade.
Kill. Yeah, great trade. And he's still alive into the action. Into the site now. 55 seconds. Plenty of time left into this round. Back at the site. NRG just slowing it down, making sure to contain. But Liazzi could really be a difference maker.
NRG are aware of it, but that doesn't mean they can deal with it.
Into mid as well. That's marked. Good kill. Still, here's Liazzi. Finds the one, finds a second. Door being closed in his face. That's Victor. 2v2. At the double doors now. MW still back towards the pyramid. Got his teammate watching his back. Just from main. Watching for the cross here.
One enemy remaining.
Taking the time with it, MW. Lovely shot. Marv now with so much more to do, but he just does not know where his last player is in the MW. Lovely 3-piece 3K. That's 3-1.
Furia playing a slow round there, walking their way up through mid, and even as Havoc died on the entry through double doors, instant trade came out from MW, and that was it. Acceleration. They go forwards instantly as soon as they take out Demon 1 there. They realize that they've found themselves an opening. If you can go 1-for-1 against Demon 1, you're actually in a great position to be able to get into sites, play post plans. So that's knocked the economy a little bit of NRG. Marved back onto a Guardian, and this is a really important eco round.
Okay, just a knife. You're right, it is important just for the economics, big investment with all the guns.
And look, Liazzi not going to be on a lurk this time, sticking with the team, and once he gets the spike plant down, he has hit.
Waves of the util. Demon 1 didn't get caught by any of it, but now the drone's in his face as well. Needs some help from the rest of it. Wall goes down, had the dash active, loses the fight. MW really taking it to him. We talked about that Jet head-to-head. Still, Ethan is alive and kicking the IGL. The flank timing! Crashes! That's gonna land it. That is really dodgy. Sharp as a cue ball with that one. Still, Ethan is alive there. With the pit down, though, it makes things a little bit more difficult, but is steadily really just getting out of their hands here. You have Furia with the pit now falling. It's all down to just the one. It's Conan, and he can't do anything about it.
Major round from Ethan, not with the utility, but in fact with his rifling. Ethan's throwing out all of his util right at the beginning of these rounds. He's not saving much of it for the retake. He's trying to put pressure on people as they get into the site. But in the last couple of rounds, hasn't quite been able to time up with Demon 1. You see the flash there that pops, but it's after the attacker's Viper Wall has already gone down, so just mistiming it slightly. But nevertheless, landing so many great shots to be able to win the round outright. And that's the danger with NRG. They're all very talented players at being able to work the map with their utility, but they've also got insane rifling skill. And they've flipped the economy back completely the other direction.
W with the Blade Storm not available. Still some slight danger into the round. But okay, Demon One's got the exact same idea as well. Here we go, sending the util up in their faces as the flashes have to disengage. Back and away still here with the updraft. That is nice. Micro adjustments justifying the kill. Havoc falling. All the advantages now laid out for NRG. Are they going to be able to reclaim these guns? It's contact plays. They're going to be waiting, walking right into each other.
Spike
Pure
down,
collection. All down to Liazzi.
And Demon One, he's hunting for it. 20 HP. Gets taken out with a classic, but Victor is going to collect. What an interesting difference to the round there from NRG. They've had Demon One playing aggressive at various times, not always hunting for that aggression in mid, but this time pushing out with the Cypher. And you won't really see that when the sides flip, I don't think. Khalil's much more of a heavy anchor rather than trying to push out to support his jet.
My eye.
But Victor was really happy there to get aggressive deep down into cannon on an anti-eco.
They didn't try against it, did they?
Oh, here comes the Demon One operator, though. And he's going to try and get set up by the look of it towards A main.
No one there, though. No targets. Maybe towards double doors if they end up shifting, but it's mid that's being played by FURIA.
What an orb liner.
Here we go. Just taking mid control. Gonna force Marv to now use the Viper's Pit. Block off that one choke point. Really worried about this. And look at that reposition as well. That was Liazzi picking up the orb again. Repositions it into tunnel so they can get even deeper into mid.
Yeah, both teams really interesting usage of the Viper orb. Marv threw his all the way into A main. Yeah, from tunnel. So that's now there to try to support Demon One as he picks towards double doors.
And this is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, Crashies has got extraordinarily deep, but they're waiting for some kind of information for Crashies to go even further. And FURIA are playing quietly right now, not giving too much of the game away.
A lot of players contained in spawn because of that orb. They're worried about the lurk. Up into nest. There's the drone. Molly down, but there's nobody going to be following up through it. Instead, everybody right through the tunnel now. Victor is going to be the man to do the most here alongside Ethan. Ducking and dodging in between each other, trying to play between both of them. The flash was good. The connection damage done to Liazzi, but still he collects that kill, at least, into the spawn. Now, it's lovely with the movement. Unlucky to not get that one kill, but still Crashes is there. Finally, the lurk paying off, and they all just crumble.
Marv finally took the time in to come out of his pit. Really great discipline, actually, from both teams there. Crashies with a phenomenal flank timing. Marv making sure that he stayed alive the entire time in the pit. And on the other side, you got to praise FURIA for trying to make the best of that situation. Doing a little jiggle, seeing if they could put pressure onto Ethan. But look at the angle. They just got their back of their heads towards where Marv is pointing his rifle. At the moment, NRG look fearless in terms of the way that they're pushing out around the map. You know, Victor is quite happy to push out from B and not just hard anchor it. Crashies is walking down halls in the very next round. They're not worried about MW with some kind of attack side operator holding a line that they might walk into.
The comms seem clean. They're not really losing track of any players as well when it really gets messy. I mean, that was a messy round. Players are all over the place, but we're using this timeout now to change the tactic ever so slightly. You said, you know, they had that early conditioning with the heavy executes for FURIA into the sites. They have slowed it down since then, going for mid-control, a bit more heavy towards there.
Yeah, but the thing is, conditioning only really works if it was super successful, because then your opponents have to make a reaction off the back of it. And maybe FURIA should start thinking about going back to some of those big execs. They haven't tried an exec on B when rifles have been up. That updraft dash exec with the recon and the flash, it looks like, based on the minimap, they might be trying something over towards A again. But this is the eco round, you know, FURIA probably taking the time out here not to quite discuss what's going to happen in this one, but instead in round 9.
I'll find their Cypher.
Be aiming to look for a couple of kills here, but they're going to be walking right into Demon One. The anchoring player dodging the flash. Smoke in his face. Dash is still there. Spots the one. Will he go for the repeat as well? There it is. Havoc deleted. Flashes in his face. I mean, this is just oppressive in terms of the util that's being sent flying, but they do have this one player deep onto the site, NW. What can he really do, though, with the Stinger? Gonna get up into somebody's face. Demon One with the classic. You're gonna be kidding me.
Spike down A.
And poor Khalil, last one left. Not a chance.
If you listen to any of the interviews, In the run-up to this season, the NRG players were talking about the fact that their job often is to set up Demon 1. The amount of initiator utility that is being thrown at FURIA to make sure that they can't attack Demon 1 is absurd. There are flashes coming in, recons coming in, darts coming in. It's just everything is being used to make sure that Demon 1 has the best duels possible. And now MW has gone for the glass cannon attack side op. Okay. So this is going to be a slower approach again. But he is vulnerable.
Open for the first kill. A bit of a patient play just at the beginning, just in case there was that mid-aggression. Pretty far back. Ethan is jiggling. All across their place, going to be good. There was a chance for MW, but missed one.
They've heard the drone come down halls. It's possible that MW could try to get set up over there, and that's where he's going.
Yeah, jump spot. Here we go, chance number 2. He doesn't know which angle to watch for here. Oh, adjustments. No damage though.
And this is the part in the round where Khalil actually needs to start making something happen. If MW can't find a pick, it's got to happen on the other side of the map. And you see Conan calling for Havoc to come back over towards B. It's going to be difficult for MW to get in. He doesn't have an updraft to be able to get over these trips.
Maybe the idea is to try and use this KO ult, but guess what? Victor is nowhere near. This setup's going to be alive. If they do this ult here yet, so they're going to be splitting into B, but it's not going to be connecting onto him, so trips are still there.
No hard anchor, though, to play off the trips.
But marked. Bit of a cheeky one. Crashies as well. They are collecting this one. The crossfire setup, they just don't have the angles. Watch for and FURIA trying to get into this site. There's 25 seconds left. Khalil has a spike. He's out in the open. He's got to reposition now. Get close to the pillar. Finally, the plant's starting to go down.
Conan is watching for this.
Ooh, finds it. An important one.
But it's a 4v3 on the retake against, again, MW with no shield.
Well, okay. Good one to begin. Counting out 3v3. What about who can get these first picks as well? Demon 1's also holding the operator angle. It's a difficult retake, but still he just needs the one, and there it is. Maybe it opens it up once more. Khalil still close to the pillar. Weaving all over the place right now. So his teammates to try and watch his back. Ethan, he's cripped all the way behind, and he's won the round for his team.
That's an insane kill from Ethan onto Conan. And to be honest with you, if Conan had just played time there and played off his Sova ult and the shock darts that he had, that might have been a better decision than trying to support his teammate on site. Difficult to tell. Very difficult to tell what the best play would be in that moment. But that's now 5 rounds in a row for NRG. And look at the way they're defending B. What on earth is this? No hard anchor. Everybody on FURIA looking for the player that's going to be hidden somewhere on site. They're nowhere to be found. Victor's on the other side so he doesn't get hit by the KO wall. And they got a crossfire from Narnia and the wardrobe.
It really is. With top nest and just playing all the way in arches.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But these positions are working so well.
Yeah, they really are. Well, guess what? We're into the action. Missed about 5 seconds.
Demon 1 already took a peek down A main.
A little bit of damage done to him. Shied away now. Crashy's been getting a lot of value with this drone deep down into halls, but maybe Leazi can catch a timing. Look at this. Pushed up now onto the left side. It's a jiggle. Mark is so aware of this. Always making sure that one avenue is not open towards them. And now double doors. That is going to be the sideline. Havoc just walks into it.
Down mid.
It's a freebie, really, for Demon 1. Close to the corner. That's Mark here with the dash. MW! That's a bulldog! How's he pulling that off still? He will fall.
I know exactly.
2v3. There needs to be a bit more being done, but it just cannot happen. Not with the weaponry.
So NRG pulled things up to 7. And FURIA's success came so early on in this map. They just haven't been able to get anything on the board as soon as rifles were online for NRG.
Yeah, it's been destructive, to be honest. I mean, the pistol round is the only reason this is looking remotely salvageable. Potentially like a 7-5. That was disgusting.
That was an ADS shot there.
You can't deny MW's skill.
But at the same time, Demon 1 had already picked off 2 of the players. He caught Havoc just walking through double doors and spun around, aware of the split push coming through A.
Good play again, reminiscent of a little bit earlier here because Victor's playing up with them, but this time into elbow. Nobody will meet them. It's A main. It's to be played by FURIA.
And it's another one of those rounds where FURIA are close to some huge ultimates, specifically the Viper's Pit, 1 away, and of course the Hunter's Fury that they can use in the post plan. But NRG have been just contesting these plants going down so much. they're playing retake B a lot, but A, both initiators fighting constantly to stop FURIA getting any space.
Just lobbing the artillery. Flashes, darts.
Mortar strike.
Absolutely. I mean, they just can't take it.
So Conan is just going to insert himself into A main and allow the rest of FURIA to go and work around the map. They'll probably end A here as their IGL's still maintaining control in that area. But there's only 50 seconds left. Enough time to work A, but not too much time to explore towards B. And there are still 3, maybe even 4 people ready to hit
Walking up
on the defense.
Trying to exec now, right for the double doors with this Hunter's Fury to set it up as well. Push these players out of position, but Marv, they didn't account for him. He's in through the back. There's the trade though. Brought him down, but still NRG, this firing squad is firing on all cylinders. Can't stop him, man.
And if you had any doubts about NRG's calling, so far this defense has been played immaculately. They haven't really had to do too much pivoting on the fly, calling improv kind of stuff, maybe in one of the rounds, but they are getting way too much value here from just leaving B open and putting a camera there. I mean, Victor is basically just leaving B with a cap, and they're allowed to stack 4 players A to stop this hit from coming through. FURIA are running into people on every single angle, battering their heads against a brick wall.
Put everything into this final round of the half. We'll see.
Now that's interesting. That knife is normally to tag people up in A main, so they may not think that NW is walking the halls here.
Drone being used as well to clear out mid. Normally Crashies is exclusively using that for halls, but see if there's an opening. Still the trip covering it, so it'd be hard for MW to get anything done from that position. Ooh, this time much more aware.
And off the back of that, knowing that the operator isn't there, MW takes a couple of steps forwards. At some point here, you know, he's going to be aware that Crashies is normally playing in this area. Look how they're trying to apply pressure to Crashies' position from both angles. Very hard for a Sova to cover both spots here.
A lot of noise being made up into Nest.
And pings on the minimap.
Yeah, I mean, NRG. Gotta be aware of this one here. They are potentially being squeezed with 37 seconds
They got
left.
the knife on Victor, so they've got past his trip.
Oh, and MW, here it is. The time to strike is now. Well, the iron is hot. This man, he's making all sorts of weaponry, isn't he? Dash forwards, he's feeling like really just getting involved into the thick of things. Demon 1 will not be outdone, but perhaps no. MW shuts him down. This Jet head-to-head, manifesting for the last round of the half. Here's the pit, finally down in play. It's all down. These 2 players, the double doors, Mars and Victor, got to try and play together here. Find these kills, all up to Mars, he will fall. That is an 8-4 half. Finishing with a flourish, really, wasn't it, from FURIA?
An awesome round from FURIA, but one of the only rifle rounds that they were able to get on board. That KO knife from Havoc was immaculate. Found Victor, disabled the trip, allowed MW with knives to sneak through halls. A perfect round, but that's what it takes to even get 4 off NRG at the start of the season. That should worry you.
Speaks about the caliber, I think, as well of these players, you know. Just they have talent, boundless amounts of talent.
But FURIA are capable of throwing curveballs their way. It's just the amount and the consistency.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's throw it down to Smix as well with a special guest. We've got Tarek as well, sitting in the hot seat, our favorite co-streamer, carrying the viewership.
Thank you very much. Sitting here with Tarek. Tarek, it's always amazing to have you here at the Riot Games Arena. So many fans in the audience for you.
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute since we saw you here. How have you been? How's everything been going?
Yeah, it's been such a long time. I think someone was saying 174 days since the last match. So yeah, it's been a long off season. I think everyone's been waiting for this game to finally happen, and it's starting off pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie, both teams look pretty good.
Yeah. NRG definitely, after losing Pistol, they just came back, and the half looks resoundingly like theirs. I'm curious for you, as someone who's had such a long career yourself, when you get to see players cracked out, you know, when you see Demon 1 hitting these shots, do you ever think to yourself, man, that used to be me?
Yeah, no, I do have, like, you know, even I was doing a meet and greet today, and people always bring up Austin, obviously, but I haven't thought about it to the extent where, like, I want to get back on stage. I think I do my own form of competition with ranked, which I think is honestly harder than some of these pro matches. But no, it's really fun to watch, and I want to give kudos to these guys because I feel like everyone's like showing up surprisingly. Like, you can see the nerves a little bit too, because there has been a couple whiffs, but overall pretty entertaining. Yeah.
Can you believe it's been 6 years since that amazing day in Boston? I feel like in some ways so much time has passed, but in others it's 6 years.
Yeah, that is nuts. I think that I get reminded of it a lot, so I feel like I'm not gonna lie. No, but it's really cool though, and you know, it's with us, so we got that.
All right. I'm gonna force you to do 2 predictions.
Okay.
1, which is the team that's gonna win this match right here? And 2, which awards are you winning tomorrow at the Streamer Awards?
I got NRG winning here 2-0. I think this is lightweight. No offense to FURIA. They're looking actually surprisingly good to me. And for the Streamer Awards, I don't know what to expect. I know I got nominated for 2 awards.
Do you know which 2 you're nominated for?
I got nominated for, I think, Gamer and FPS, I believe. And you know, I don't think voting is open, but if you can vote for me, vote for me.
You heard it from the man himself. Please vote for Tarek for the Streamer Awards. For now, let's head back to the game with the casters.
I'll get on that, Tarek. I'll get on that. I'll try and find a link.
Little bro's just bragging during the end. It's crazy.
No, I mean, it's us bringing up Boston. That man gets reminded every day in the chat. I mean, it's us bringing it up. Here we go. Second half into Breeze. It's a really strong beginning for NRG with that 8-4 lead.
Yeah. It is going to be difficult for FURIA to battle back, but their win condition is MW not just having twice the number of kills as the second player on the scoreboard, but more like 5 times. That is the win condition on defense. He's going to be hunting fights. His team's bought him a sheriff in this round, or rather, he's bought the sheriff in the round. So,
that is risky. He's spotted. Really interesting. Cam, well, gets the 1.
NRG were running a fake into B there. Demon 1 got into the site, and they were hoping to try to get an easy plant down on A. But MW was pushing out of A at the same time.
Yeah, that is crazy.
So both Jets were fighting the opposite side of the map, and NRG's fake attempt has been found. And that means that they're now in a 3v4, where they've got to go down to plan B.
Whatever that might be. There's some info. Good awareness from Havoc. Underhanded flash to see if he can get any damage. Okay, everybody's just getting out of there. Crashies. And give up the space that he was holding on to just over towards Albo. 50 seconds left. What direction do they want to go in? It seems like there's some uncertainty.
Yeah, but they're ending towards Havoc. Talented rookie player, but currently sat 0-11. Having a bit of a nightmare of the first game. It can be difficult. First time at the tier 1 level.
2 spotted now. That should force out rotations at least. There it is. You can find the first one on the board. Get rid of that Kusek. 25 seconds left. Easy access. Walking straight past the VALORANT. All damage has been done. Look at this. It is just an absolute onslaught still. Surely you got to be receiving it. Oh, it's a disaster. Oh my. 2 players left now for FURIA. Still up onto the staircase. And Crashies. Short work of that one. The Sova diff here.
Planted.
Really any time to spare. Shot lands.
Toxins going up.
Yazi ducking as well. Lucky to be alive here onto 20 health, but still maybe there's a chance with Crashies low enough. And there it is through the wall. Turns it into a 1v1. But a single shot will do it really. Potentially onto either side. Walking up onto the right side. It's all about the gambles. Could have crossed it onto it. Ethan's there. Liazzi! 3 in the round. Another pistol round.
Massive clutch from Liazzi there. Picking up the rest of his team to deliver them the pistol. After the anchors over towards A had fumbled the bag a little bit. I definitely agree with Tarek. I think that there are some nerves in play here. I think for the FURIA side in particular, you see these players that don't have as much experience, I mean, particularly Havoc, struggling a little bit, but Liazzi as well is not a player with huge experience at the top level, and that's a major clutch to come out with.
Yeah, really nice.
He's playing with a lot of respect for NRG, and I was worried that, you know, he wouldn't be able to take the fights that he wanted to, but he managed to find them. You see what that means for FURIA. They still believe that they can get back into this game.
The pistol round does change pretty much everything. Almost guarantees the second round as long as you don't fumble. Walk in from NRG. All grouped up. Oh, this drone's going to see him. Surely. No. Duration wasn't enough.
Yeah, Conan droning from too far back. Crashies was droning from much further up so that you could check that corner. He's just cautious, worried about being dashed on probably.
Broken, but only the 1 person firing, so they don't know that they've got the entire squad here. Flash through, but still defensive positioning being played by Conan. Oh my goodness, still getting the damage really off there. MW still lucky. Backing away, right from the back. He's got it! He's got it! There we go.
Welcome to the big time!
Is that cyberbullying? I don't know, but...
No.
There's a second! Okay!
The crowd getting behind one of our youngest players here as well.
I love that. People's champion right now, I think, honestly.
Look at the streak of rounds that NRG got on the other half, and yet there's only 2 rounds deciding these two teams.
It's the pistol rounds, right?
Yeah, if FURIA is able to actually get some value out of this bonus, this game could still be really close. And the defense side is where MW tends to feast.
Ready with a lineup. Area. And flying now up towards mid, along with the knife as well. That's 2 layers of the util just to catch a player deep, pushed up. It's MW suppressed as well. He can't get out of there. He can't actually dash to disengage. Demon 1 will bring down the counterpart.
Immaculate utility to neutralize MW. They even threw the cage at the start in case he was peeking out B main at the beginning. I mean, NRG have thought about how to neutralize an aggressive defense jet here on Breeze. And with MW not really having other players to play off there, you know, no initiator to back him up. Not like Khalil was pushing out like we saw from Victor in some of the previous defense rounds. He's isolated and plucked out. NRG slow things down. Liazzi's pushed up. This is a weird angle.
It's a really weird angle. I mean, this is the one thing working against NRG. They don't have any map control. They're going to have to clear this one. Will they do so? Yes. Crashes is there with a kill. Liazzi falling. Five still alive. Now can start to just absolutely barrel their way onto the site. Or falling.
Small amount of fuel.
Down.
Yeah, not very much fuel there from Marv. These players a little out in the open, but nice nade there. And NRG are going to continue to apply this pressure. They only really require a few players on site to do this too.
This post plan looks really nice.
Yeah, right.
Mid lurk from Victor.
Demon 1 as well.
Yeah, into halls.
Up deep in halls.
Plenty of threats available here. FURIA are going to be finding it really difficult to try and play this retake. Time potentially against them. Ethan making noise with the jump spot. Timing unfortunate. Still gets it.
Utterly brutal.
Still gets it. Door opening as well. Distractions being made for them into the back of it. Damage though. Okay. Players falling low, but so is the time. Look at that. It's ticking and it's working against them.
There's no chance. Marv's in the cringe spot, man. Look at this.
Yeah. Okay. No chance in hell. Players going to be falling.
But was that damage? Yeah, I think it was. They took armor from everybody. They killed 2 players. That's a decent bonus round for FURIA there. They've still got money to be able to buy up into this. They would have loved to win that. They would have loved to. It would have started the comeback. It would have allowed MW to build up a bank where maybe he could have got a defense-sided operator online. But listen, they'll take what they can get at this point. 3 rounds now separate these teams. And MW's going to start to have to think a little more about how he gets aggressive on defense, this time with a lot of players over towards A main. Flash lineup from Havoc?
Yeah, potentially.
Just waiting out the knife.
Over the top, that's another flash. That's Ethan. Updraft movement, not enough to try and evade the sight line of Demon 1. It's all up in his face. Victor not wasting any time, is he? Straight up towards double doors. Another flash. And recontest though. The flash was not quite good enough, Ethan. Wasn't blinded. Victor, chance to feast for him as well. They are plucking and picking apart this A defense. It's surgical. It's looking like the 10th is on the board momentarily. Kona, no chance. Just got to save this one. No way, does he really want to try and take that fight? Yes, he does. Not losing confidence just yet against our championship player.
But Conan's got no chance, really, I don't think. He's going to sprint down Marv, but he's going to run bunny hop straight into Crash, who's welcome in arms. And that round 16, may well have turned the tide firmly in favor of NRG, because that's broken the economy of FURIA. That's shattered any chances of the bonus round having some level of benefit to their economy. It's going to allow NRG to creep very close to the top. And every rifle fight was favored with a piece of utility, or every rifle fight just looked so clean from NRG as well.
Timeout has to be taken. FURIA, they realize it. The back's against the wall for map number 1.
The thing is, FURIA, I think, had 2 big win conditions in this map. And maybe you could say the match overall as well. I think this first map of Breeze is where FURIA had the most chance. It's where we've seen them in the offseason destroy Cloud9, for example, with that level of defensive aggression and some nice attack side rounds. But I think the 2 win conditions for FURIA were, maybe even still are, MW's era having an unbelievable performance, and he has been shut down by NRG's extremely diligent play on their attack side. They are throwing extraordinary utility that's got pinpoint accuracy to push him into unfavorable situations, flash him, recon him, whatever it might be, and then kill him.
Yeah.
And set up Demon 1 for favorable fights there. And I think the other win condition potentially for FURIA in this match is that Conan is able to outcall NRG, who, you know, don't have that much experience with a very successful IGL on the team, etc., etc. And at the moment, NRG, everything is working for them. They look like a well-oiled machine, and this team's just barely getting started.
I mean, they've only just formed, very recently compared to a lot of other teams.
Yeah.
Scrimming with the core just over a month, I believe, so... and they're looking this good.
If you wanted the cracks to show for NRG, you would have to push them away from Plan A. And unfortunately, Plan A is just working so well right now that FURIA are barely getting openings in some of these rounds.
This is a slow start, isn't it? Hoping for that mid-aggression as well, because Demon 1 is just got his crosshair set on the top of that wall in case MW does decide to take a bit of a peek. Seconds getting whistled away. Oh, hello. Close to the wall, close to the corner, just needs to get himself out of there. Havoc getting cheeky with it. You need a miracle if you're FURIA.
My ult's ready.
The miraculous players on the other team. And Demon 1's mechanics have not suffered for the long off-season with his, 5-month break from the game.
He did say 4 to 5 months he was just watching movies and traveling.
What?
That's what he said. Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Yes.
Didn't touch the game.
The most well-known training regime for top Valorant players.
Yep. This man is unfazed. Yeah, I mean, he might be taking the Iceman title away from Marv, to be honest.
30 seconds left.
I think he's too fiery to be the Iceman. That's the thing now.
Havoc cleared out, 1 bullet left. Can he do anything with it? The answer is no. Marv. It's the extra piece that was needed. Taking a lot of space now up towards stairs. 3 players left now for FURIA, but the plant's down. A slow and steady approach from NRG. They leave no gaps in their play.
And I'm going to be honest, Brent. At this point, now that NRG are looking like they're getting up to 11-6, the questions going through my head are more, are they going to show what their genuine plans are with these ultimates? Or are they going to try to conserve strategies that they're working for later games? Which is a brutal spot to be in. FURIA need to continue pressuring them.
You know what, these final 2 players are hungry for the kills, the flash and the dart, everything to set it up once more. Initiators really helping it out. 1 last bullet. Not enough for it, but yeah, NRG running away with this map. And it really has been down to that initiator diff. I mean, we're talking about it. Ethan and Crashies, those waves of util, MW can't get away with as much as he's potentially hoping for.
Yeah, I really agree with that. I think that Crashies and Ethan have been absurd in the way that they've set up Demon 1. But also on the defense side, this is Victor's first ever game as Cypher, right? We think about this guy being super flexible, but normally he's been playing in the Killjoy meta. And they were getting crazy value out of just putting the cam and a little bit of a setup over towards B and stacking A. Whereas FURIA are playing much more spread around the map. They're forced to, because they don't exactly know where NRG are ending.
Gamble by FURIA, 3 players anchoring over towards B, expecting NRG to be trying to go and hit into that side. Ethan has the KO ult.
And that's why they're holding Khalil on the opposite side. A classic anti-KO ult setup here. But NRG, looking like they've read it a little bit, to be honest. They're setting up for some kind of A split. It's going to be a slower round, because Demon 1's looking for a pick with the operator. But there is so much that you can do on Jet with this map. Now that Halls has been re-added in.
Yeah.
You know, opening the switch, dashing out onto yellow. On the defense side, going for some pushes down there with a recon dart potentially. It's a Jet's paradise, this map.
And look at the amount of respect that's being shown. I mean, FURIA not eager to try and peek, take a look down Halls either. Slide off angle. Now the dart comes through. 45 seconds left.
They've just walked Ethan onto site, kind of alone.
He hears them though. There we go. Offloading the ult. See if he can survive as well.
This is
revealed for about a moment. Here we go. Hunter's Fury into the back. Ethan couldn't quite stand his ground, but it's Liazzi who will stand and deliver. Hunter's Fury eventually a kill to be claimed. This crashes onto Havoc. Door opened up. Demon 1. That's the knives available if he really wants to just let them rip. Still the dash active on top of things. Still. Don't get anything done with it though. It's a weird round. Maybe they can make the most of all of this here with time running so damn short. Victor, man of the hour.
You can't let them win this round, FURIA.
It's absolutely insane. You've got to be kidding me. MW to the 1v1. Dart Doesn't scan him. He's brought it to this one moment defining. It could be everything the backbreaking round that he's looking to avoid by winning this one out, but the timing's here, caught it to the side! Crashes! Denied the chance, that's all NW.
FURIA have done such a great job of setting themselves up for success there. It's the first round where I'm confused at what the game plan was for NRG. Ethan was so far out on site alone, just trying to take advantage of the fact that they felt nobody was really playing A, and the read was somewhat accurate, but it wasn't synced up with what Demon 1 was going for. And look at Liazzi here. He was able to play off the back of the Hunter's Fury, get in deep, and MW closes it out with that classic, awesome op accuracy. They need more of that. And after the first round, in my opinion, where NRG's game plan looked a little off, instant timeout.
Instantly.
I mean, Jet hits the big red button immediately.
Not wasting any time. You can hear somebody in the crowd saying, good timeout. Respect that. Get the coach whistle out. But yeah, they can feel it. You know, listen, it was the first round where things did get shaky with the game plan. The players have talked about Ethan adjusting into the IGL position, and, you know, Crash is saying we understand we have to support him as well. It's a new role for him despite all the experience he's got. He's played with world-class, you know, championship caliber IGLs.
Yeah.
Multiple across the board, so...
Across multiple esports.
Yeah, exactly.
His time in CS too. But there is still a chance for FURIA in this game. The issue is, it looks close because FURIA have won both of the pistols, right? And now they're starting to win a couple of rifle rounds like here or there, round 12, round 18, both really good rounds for FURIA, but their economy is still shot. And there's an outlaw on the other side too, Demon 1 picking it up.
Okay.
What was the bet that they had on the analyst desk? I think
it was Demon 1 picking it up. I mean, there's a lot of half armor targets.
Yeah, 3 light armor targets on the other side, including MW, right? The Jet head-to-head, 1 body shot from either player.
I'll be waiting for him though. There's a flash for the knife to set this one. Oh, Khalil! Oh my, looking like week 1 2013.
2013? 2023?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
What, you're going back a decade?
I'm going back a decade, apparently. Good call out.
I don't think I knew Khalil back then.
I don't think Valorant was out back then.
All right, so NRG under a little bit of pressure because Demon 1's been popping off this game so far. They haven't really had to play an attack side round with him down. Marv has the spike. He's 1 away from pit. But it's going to be difficult to get any kind of purchase on the A side.
Yeah, single shot. Nade forced out. Havoc just using the util to try and delay here, but down to a minute left. Sidestep, Marv. He's eloquent with it.
More awkward timings from Havoc.
Khalil, he's lit up. Players now starting to swarm onto the side still. They do have the benefit of having this pit towards main. They don't have to worry about that position. Khalil, though, he is being swarmed, surrounded, pincered. Players finally arriving. Still Liazzi alive. Sidestep once more, playing into this pit. They got nothing to clear him out here, and they want to be trying to commit to A. This is an absolute disaster for NRG.
30 seconds left.
Leave it up to Victor. He can't find any easy fight, and it's shut down in a moment's notice.
I came into this game thinking that the difference maker might be Havoc, because I think his performance during the off-season and during his time in Tier 2 looked really promising. But actually, the big player that's stepping up is Liazzi. He's 14 and 14 right now, but the frags that he's getting are so high impact. I mean, he's got to survive here and find his isolated ones, and he just peeks out of the pit, manages to get onto Crashies, times his peak onto Ethan perfectly as Ethan was reloading the Classic after he'd spent all of his bullets spamming the pit too. Another big round from FURIA to pull this back to within 3. They are not down and out.
Still winnable.
So much of this game on the attack side has come down to A splits, halls play, that kind of thing. We haven't really seen many big B execs. Nobody wants to go into that Viper wall and trip setup.
Deep drone, not really seeing too much.
And a nice cam from Victor that does see a lot.
Yeah.
It lets him know whether people are jiggle peeking, whether there's an opera on the angle. It's going to allow him to get up deep. And of course, he's always got 2 cages to be able to open that door and create pressure from Switch as the rest of his team gets close.
Will this flash connect onto the backside player? That's Liazzi. Off around the corner. Dark flash, everything being combined, even with the knife. Liazzi still holding his ground, still shot missed. Players running his way up there. That's Victor still, and he has taken out a kill still. Liazzi! Player to watch for, really. He's the one making these rounds more than winnable. Out to the side, though. Does not expect crashies at that particular position. MW narrowly avoiding it as well. Bullet sailing, whistling right over to his head. He's looking for the fight. Nobody offloaded. Gives him an idea of the positioning. Pit offloaded. There's 16 seconds left.
It's an awesome pit. It blocks the sightline and allows him to cross. It's not really to play the post plant. It's just like a smoke.
He's trying to get himself there. There it is. Time available for the plant. Playing forward into the pit could come down to almost anything. Battle of the timings. Okay.
Crashy's reposition has got to be fairly unexpected here as well. The last time they saw him, he was over by the Crab Pyramid.
They expect it. It's been watched for. It's not going to be a swing from Marv either.
What a read.
Crashies. He's taking a little bit back. MW!
What a read.
He's so damn aware. And Marv is low enough. Tiniest amount of chip damage will do it. Round to the side. That's a bit overkill with a shot to the cranium, but it gets them the round. Necessary one.
And if NRG thought that it was going to be smooth sailing on this side after racking up all of those rounds on defense and coming into this with an 8-4 lead, they are sorely mistaken. This is now within 2.
Indeed.
Many of these chances for NRG to cleanly put FURIA away are being squandered. And it is at this point that now the NRG economy starts to get squeezed. This round that we're about to see is going to be make or break for the NRG economy. And they don't have those big ultimates to work with. They're one away from Crashies and somewhat close to Ethan's, but probably not going to be online this round. MW not playing as aggressive, by the way. Good adjustment from the Jet on FURIA. He's really found that discipline and patience that we've been wanting to see from him as the evolution of his game from years prior when he's been on Duelist. He's not just giving himself away as a free pick, trying to force the fight. He, in fact, is anchoring B in this round.
He's watching Tunnel. Just in case it does come through. Crashies went to his ult a little bit prior. We saw that one, and now the team grouping up for a potential B hit. But really essential, I think, that they try and remove these trips, either the knife connecting or otherwise maybe some util. Drone used to clear close just in case somebody repositioned into main. Here's MW chance. Missed. Here we go. A lot of util being used. Lit up. MW trying to avoid it. Playing inside it. There we go. Oh, lit up. Plenty of chances with the shorty. Still 2 bullets left. Into the chamber. He's weaving in and out. But Victor has got his eye on him. It is chaos and anarchy right now. Into the B side. Kills happening all over the bloody place.
Things stabilize a little, though, into a 2v2 here. And the Cypher ultimate, huge to give away information. Crashies is coming around the side.
Crashies is traded. 1 versus 1. And Liazzi, it's been more than good for it. Victor, real chance to shine, put them up. Lovely jump spot, gets the information. Repositioning to the back of the site using the Viper wall against him. Liazzi puts his own up, though. Here we go. Round to the side is Victor. Shuts it down and brings NRG to that 12th round.
Major play from Victor, who's been quietly putting up an excellent performance in, again, his first ever Cypher game. You can tell that he's put in the hours. It also seems like a suited agent for him. He's very good in these anchor positions, good in the clutch as well. NW had some chances here to make magic occur. But instead, most of the impact was happening off the back of Sova utility. Conan got 2 with like a shock dart and then a wall bang. Victor got 1 off the wall bang as well. And now we head in. NRG up to 12. Looking to try and take this fight through mid this time.
W chance. Find a cheeky pick off. And the diligence isn't there. Look at that, Ethan. Not expecting it. I believe that's one of the first times MW's played in that spot.
Yeah, and he's doing a great job of mixing things up, still managing to be dynamic and mobile whilst not always pushing on defense. That is a fake wall from Marv, making it feel like it's over towards A, when in fact, they're getting set up for the B pinch. Liazzi is going to be under pressure, only a Spectre to his name.
Yeah, and Tunnel needs to be watched for as well, so the squeeze doesn't come in, but NRG hoping and praying for it now. Look at it, they've already crossed. MW's missed that one, and the dart reveals him. He's going to be pushed off this angle. Crashies is already in, walking behind them. Conan just not even watching it with his own gun. Liazzi's still there close to the corner, only with the Spectre, 10 bullets. Anybody going to be walking into him now with 40 seconds left? He's putting a break and a pause into the play because the spike has been dropped down at the wall.
I've got to be honest with you, I think this is a save for NRG. They're in a 2v4, they have an barely any money.
30
Marv's
seconds
only
left.
50 credits. Crashy's 350. The rounds have gone back and forth. They don't have a big loss bonus. They just won the prior. So this has got to be a save. And if Furia have the confidence for it, and if they decide to push forwards as the time gets lower, these could be big rewards if you're able to take the op and the rifle out of NRG's hands.
They're keeping their own guns, though. Their money's low enough.
But I mean, yeah,
it is. I mean, I think it's a worthwhile, though, risk to take.
You do see Liazzi actually looking to go forwards because he's the player with the Guardian, right? So he's not bothered about saving that into the next round. But it looks like nobody on NRG is really going to get spotted. So they survive. Anticlimactic end. But what a map that we've got here. Furia certainly coming back into it. The second timeout called by NRG.
And here we go. The heat's being turned up.
Look at these crossfires. I mean, it's such an unusual position, honestly, for Liazzi to be playing in. When the attacking team has already taken tunnel control, you are pretty much screwed in that.
You're just out in the open. That's why I was talking about how important it was to just hold tunnel with the op in that spot.
But he managed to make it work.
Exactly. I mean, I thought that when the player, I think it was Crashes, crossed over and caught that timing, I thought that was going to be the end of it.
But they were too focused on archers because the recon dart just came through at that exact time from Conan. I mean, things are getting a little messy here, but I think major credit to Furia because they have found ways of being able to win on the defense side right now. You know, they're not giving away early picks. They're actually forcing NRG to come up with game plans that make sense to close these rounds out. And NRG have not actually demonstrated big execs that are functional on A or B. They're doing a lot of work in the map, trying to find picks. It's a slower approach to Breeze. And thus far, Furia are not giving them the openings. That's making it tough for NRG. Ethan is going to be getting close. After this round, he's going to have the KO ultimate. Now that could be a massive difference maker as you head towards round 24. I think it's very, very likely that we see a 12-11 score here in favor of NRG, but only slightly.
Time ticking down. Like you said, ults to build towards, maybe Crashes as well, build towards the Hunter's Fury in this round. Hope and pray that Demon 1 might be able to find something, at least with that operator who's still got drone. Gonna be used.
It's a strange dynamic, though, for NRG because they want to put Demon 1 and Victor in good positions, but they don't want to lose the rifles, right? Or the operator.
Yeah, Khalil is not giving him anything. There might be a chance, though. He's creeping onto the left angle. Guess what? Havoc is playing there. No way! What? That's barely a sliver.
Another disgustingly unfortunate moment for Havoc as he just gets drilled by that, man.
Here.
He's having a nightmare already.
Yeah.
Turning up to the tier 1 level and playing against the world champ. The top level performing player from Champions.
Tough ask. MW looked like he wanted to take a nice little fight, but no, backs away now, realizing that they've lost control of halls.
And Victor's quite isolated over towards elbow here. He's going to be in the hard lurk position. But he's got that rifle.
Walking up. Crashies. Might hear that trip close, at least the cam as well. He can hear it. Yeah, they ping.
And Marv just getting that fuel back. Now they can go for a proper exec.
Just
They're
walking
still
in.
just contacting behind it. But the cam is going to see all of this.
And here it is. Util's broken. Still close to the corner, Khalil. Cage is up. Plant. Ethan. To be dissuaded away from it with any sort of util. Just going to let that one get off here. Khalil doesn't dodge the flash for the underhand, but there was no peek coming through it. There's Victor.
And now he's opened up the B side, the mid-rounding. This is the opportunity. Oh, of course, the plan.
Still close, yeah, still close to the corner though, and they're still walking a little bit wider. There it is. Lineups being used on offer, and this is when the time really starts to tick. Putting it all on the line here for Furia. This could be the backbreaker, the round win, just based off of that alone, but the lineup's bad.
Yeah,
Slight miss to the side, but they don't want to stick it in the moment here. Still, Conan pressing the advantage, pushing forward still. Khalil, he will fall, half on it, and the shot finds Hart. Wonderful finish. 13 to 10.
What a way to close it out. Marv with an operator, throwing his lineups and finishing things out, getting the better end of MW. But you can't say that Furia didn't push him there. That second half was not easy. Powered by both of the pistol rounds going the way of the Brazilian squad, they've got chances in this match. NRG still played exceptionally well. That first half with the initiator utility was almost immaculate.
Yeah, really sad to see that caliber shine.
And yet, You know, FURIA really showing why they should be treated with some respect. Dark Horse team pushing NRG, showing that they're able to keep up in terms of the individuals. Big performances from MW and Liazi on that map. And if Havoc wakes up and comes online and gets that experience under his belt,
I mean, that's what you mean. I mean, you've got...
It's going to level him up.
That scoreline, close map like that with one of your players putting up, what, 2 kills at the end?
Something like that, yeah. I mean, and actually not the kind of map where Havoc was owning people with his supportive utility either.
Yeah.
He was just a little slow to warm up on the stage.
Well, map 1 all done and dusted as well. Going to be taking a short break on the other side of things, setting us up for that critical and crucial map number 2. You don't want to miss it, so don't go anywhere.
Rachel, you okay?
No. I live with a broken phone. I can't trade in.
Okay, that's dramatic. Better plan's Verizon. Everyone can trade in their old phone and get the new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus with AI on them.
A new phone?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Wait, I'm on Verizon. Can I still get it?
Yeah.
I gotta trade this in, right?
New and existing customers can trade in any Samsung phone for a new Galaxy S24 Plus watch and tablet, all on us. That's up to $1,800 in value, only on Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings.